Alright, we're trying a little bit different setup. We just moved the angle of our vibratory unit so that I get a better camera angle. I'm not sure this is really going to work. So our Calligraphy Stone's been running 2 days in aluminum oxide polish. And you see how quiet it is? You can hear the rotary tumblers in the background, and then you can hear the slight hum of the vibratory unit. Now, it's been 12 hours, maybe 13 hours since I've checked this last. And as you can see, hopefully, the unit is still, it's got a nice paste going. And because of the stone, it's really interesting to run. It's turned the slurry pink, where it was all a real deep brick red when we were doing it in the rotary tumblers and would do the washouts. And now in this, because usually when it's in polish, it's usually white, but this is interesting how it's turned it pink. And it's still quiet. I don't really think that this Mini Sonic by Diamond Pacific is a loud vibratory tumbler. And I don't have the setting on high. I've been wanting to do a real gentle polish because it's such a soft stone. So let's pull a piece out. Clean that off. And see what the condition of it is. I'm not really getting the polish off the way I would like. Oops, there we are. Wow, we are getting quite a nice shine on this stone. Ooh. Oh yeah. I mean, there's polish still stuck in there, but I'm putting it back in polish in just a second here. I'm just checking the stone. Whoop, there it goes. Look, we've got a good surface. It's taken a nice polish, and I think that's the trick to polishing these really soft stones that notoriously don't take a good polish. And I think you got to get the surface prepared properly. It's really smooth. And we're taking it slow on this polish. I think giving it a little bit more time is gonna do the trick, but I want to add just a little bit of water. It might be too much water, but see the action's picking up. And it's getting a little louder. I really don't want to run this faster. That's another thing that I like about this Diamond Pacific vibratory unit is that you can adjust the speed. And in a Lotto, you can't adjust the speed. So for me, I'm liking this unit better. I'm pretty happy with the polish that we're getting. And I'm just going to let this run. Put the cap back on it. I'm going to give it another day. I'll check this tomorrow. Give it 3 days. All right, that's our check on the calligraphy stone. All right, we're back to do a check on our calligraphy stone that's been in polish for 5 days. Now we've checked on it and added some squirts of water as needed. And I think we should be just about done. Let's take a look. Beautiful slurry. A little disconcerting that it's turning pink. All right, let's do a check. Got our piece here. We'll put it in some water. See if we can get the polish off the stone. Let's turn the water pink. It's better than that brick blood red we had earlier. Alright, let's dry it off. Well, we have a polish. It's not like the greatest polish, but it's a really soft stone, and we wanted to see if we could get one at all. So I'm gonna check another stone. Let's see if we can grab a flatter one. This one's a little bigger. I think 5 days is all I'm willing to let this run for because it's such a soft stone. But we got a little bit of a polish. Got some shine on it. Looks really hazy. I need to run a burnish cycle on it, and then we can do a true judge on what our results were. Alright, let's take these two pieces, put them back in. Get some Dawn soap. A lot of water. Move the camera. And we're going to let that run for about half an hour. Back on it. Sorry about the camera movement. I'm going to turn the speed up a little, and we'll look at it after it's all washed, burnished. Okay, so after this, I'm gonna about half an hour. I'm gonna rinse it really well, and then put borax and more Dawn dish soap in, and let it have a really good burnish cycle. Might do a couple of those, and then we'll check the final results. All right, we'll be right back. And we're back with our calligraphy stone, which is an advanced tumble. The most hardness on this stone is a 3 to 4, 2.5 maybe to 4. It's very, very soft. Now, this has been through a 1-hour burnish cycle with just borax. I know earlier I said I was going to do it with Dawn soap as well, but I put Dawn in the first wash. I didn't want to put it in the second one because I didn't want a residue left on it. I am pretty darn happy with the shine that we are getting on this really soft stone. So I dried this one off earlier. Gosh, it feels really nice. Not as smooth as like a jasper or an agate. You know, you can still feel a little bit of a texture because of the composition of the stone. Wow, this is amazing. Oh, that one's wet. Some of these I dried off already. I took a little quick peek. Now this is kind of the finish I was expecting to get. You know, kind of like some parts would polish and some parts wouldn't. And you can definitely feel high spots on this, the texture. Wow, this is really cool. Oh no, that's completely smooth on that side and everything. No undercutting, no nothing on this one. Oh, I'm really happy. Oh well, they're pretty much dry. Oh, I love a success, especially when we're not expecting one. I was really expecting this to be a fail, and then it would become a how not to video, but it worked. Because it worked, we'll make a video on every step that we did. Oh, wow. Now this ran 5 days in polish. I wasn't originally going to let it run that long, but I checked it at 2 days, and I wasn't all that thrilled. It was like, looked like it was going to start taking a polish, but I wasn't looking like I was going to get a really high one. So I thought, well, let's just leave it in, you know, in for a penny, in for a pound. So I left it for another day. I checked it only for the consistency to make sure it wasn't locked up and to make sure that I had a nice slurry going and it wasn't too dry. And I added a couple squirts of water, let it run for another day. Next thing you know, it's 5 days later, and I am tickled pink. That bothers me. That is polish stuck in there. I have an ultrasonic cleaner on its way. I'm going to put the stone in there and see if we can get it cleaner. However, maybe it's not polished. Maybe it's just underneath the stone, because when I get the shine on there, it looks like a sealed surface. So it doesn't look like a pit. So maybe that's just an optical illusion. Well, we'll find out one way or the other, won't we? See how you can see as a pit. There's nothing stuck in there. Yeah, these are dry. Now, you can see there's some undercutting, some pitting. These are not perfectly smooth. We had lost so much mass with these stones from what they had started. They're really tiny now. They're just like, you know, just little stones, but they're beautiful. I'm really, 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 really happy. That's a really cool piece. And you can see how that wore away. That is called undercutting, because the red is a softer material than the yellow. The more yellow, the better the shine, material-wise, on this stone. Some of the red polished. The longer that this tumbles, the more the red material undercuts. And that's why I wanted to use a vibratory tumbler instead of a rotary tumbler for the pre-polish and polish stages, to kind of protect the stone as much as possible and to keep it from eroding and crumbling and creating a mess. There was no fractures, chips, or anything in the barrel. I'm really tickled pink about that. So I was afraid we were going to get some of that. I was afraid some of these stones were going to break. And if they broke in the polish stage, like this one here, I really thought this was going to just shred. And if it broke in the polish stage, the crumbled pieces would ruin the finish on all the other stones. That's why I've got to be really, really careful. Oh, I'm so happy. I am so very happy. Oh, this is really pretty. Woo. All right, I'm going to call that a success. There was a lot of babysitting on this one. A lot of nerve. I was very nervous about a lot of this. Kind of nerve-wracking. Just because it was such a soft stone and I had seen other people, you know, polish the stone and not do well. And I was afraid we were just going to have another one. But I think this is a success. All right, we are going to move on to our Lepidolite, which is our other advanced stone we're running this week. Be right back. And we're back with our Lepidolite, which is a Mohs hardness of 2.5 to 3. This little lovely stuff has been running for an additional 5 days in 60-90. So let's see, we've got 3, 10, 15, 19 days total between all the different cycles we've been running this. Some of these I just keep adding more rough to, but others like this, and these are wet because I just washed them out, are ready to go to medium. Kind of a perpetual barrel of lepidolite because I still have over 2 pounds of it to tumble. See, we got some breakage here. Some of the stone's crumbling. It is so soft. That still feels gritty. Oh, that feels better. So the lepidolite started out like this. This is it in the rough. And as you can see, it's starting to shrink down quite a bit. There's a pretty piece we put in last week, or last few days ago. But some of them are ready to move forward. And I'm just going to pull them out. They're not perfect. But we're losing so much mass that I'm going to want something left. But you can see, you know, it is shaping, but there's still pits and whatever. So we're just going to be really careful. And I have an ultrasonic cleaner on its way. And it should be able to get all the grit out before we move it to another stage. That feels like a fresh break on that edge. I like that to tumble a little bit longer. Boy, it's a lot of mica. That's just going to shred. This is going to be interesting. It's that piece we chipped off of section. That is really hard, the quartzite, which is close to a 7. I'm surprised the rest of this rock didn't kick it off already. What to do? So these are all, I have a batch over here that we pulled out last time. It's ready for a wash cycle and ready to go to 120. These I'm going to add to it. These need another cycle in stage 1. These are just getting pulverized. You know, this has just got some interesting shaping to it. I might just pull that out and see what happens with it. Run it all as an experiment. And that one is an experiment. There's some really neat pink on this one. Oh, see, that just broke in my hand. So that's definitely not going anywhere. Huh. Yeah, that's got that fresh break on it. This was only had 5 days, and that's only got 5 days in. This little piece might be alright to go. Wow, look at all this. Alright, after running 5 cycles, which are like 3 to 4 days each, I think I can safely say we can run this in stage 1. Yeah, see, that's just chipping off of my fingernails, just cutting that out. Goodness, that's just really breaking down. I got distracted. So after running 5 cycles in stage 1, and they're short cycles, I think I can safely say we could run the first week, a 7-day cycle, in 60-90 with fresh rough. Yeah, I think I can make that claim at this juncture. All of this is going back in the barrel for another run, and I'm going to, of course, add more rough so that we have the volume we need in the barrel. And I'm not putting any ceramics in it because I wanted to do as much shaping as I can. And now that we've run it a few times, I'm feeling a little more confident in not cushioning it at the beginning. All of this is going to be put aside for medium. So we're making progress. We're making progress, slowly but surely. And that's what you do with a new product to you, is take it slow, so you know you're not ruining everything. And it's better that it takes more time than it does to rush through it and be miserable with the results. Okay, that's pretty much all I got to say about this particular lepidolite this week, or for this stretch of video. We'll see it again. I'm going to put this back in a barrel, put more rough in it, and we will see it next week. I'm going to actually, even though there's some pieces that are close to being ready, I'm going to actually let it run for a full 7 days. Who knows if any of this will survive. we're going to run it for a full 7 days and see what happens. Okay, let me go get the barrel. Okay, now that we've got the barrel, I'm going to put some of these bigger pieces in the bottom. And then I'm going to put these little tiny chips, which I think are just going to evaporate into mud. And that's fine, because I wasn't going to do anything with them anyway. Let's see, we can get some more pieces in here. Let's vary the sizes as we can. Ooh, that's a lovely piece. There's a tiny little one. Alright, that's all I'm going to put in there. I don't want to overload it. Goodness, we're never going to get rid of that lepidolite at this rate. It's taking forever. We are going to put 1 tablespoon of borax. And at some point, somewhere, I've got stage 1 grit. Oh, that's heavy. Here we go. 1.5. Because it's a soft stone, it's not going to use all the grit. Ooh. Let's get this grit off the rim so that we can get a good seal. And that's all I'm going to put in for water. Oh, goodness. You shouldn't have the camera right in front of your arms. Today is the 19th. And we're going to put it back on the tumbler. Room on this one. Just throw it on there. And that's all there is to it. Our other little beauties will be ready in about 3 days to clean out. They're not ready yet. Okay.